live. We have a big show for you today, guys. Very big show. I am excited for today's show. The UFC has a major problem. The My phone is going crazy right now. Let me clear those messages. Let me clear this real quick. The UFC has live. That would be dope. So, anyways, guys, if you can see me right now, the UFC has a major problem because ahead of the UFC White House card, people are calling out the UFC. They're calling out Donald Trump. And this is a big problem because when they announced the UFC White House card, a lot of the UFC's fan base, a lot of the UFC fighters were supportive of Trump, and now things are changing. How will this affect the UFC? How will this affect the White House card, especially considering that MVP and Netflix have a rival card coming out, which is an alternative to the UFC? We're going to get into all of that. We're going to get into specifically Sean Strickland calling out the UFC and Trump ahead of his title fight with Khamzat, what that means. Did he go too far? Is he just promoting the fight? We're going to get into all of that. We're going to get into a couple security concerns about the White House card. And we got a new look for the channel, guys. We have a new default picture, a new background picture. You know what I mean? We're making upgrades. We upgraded the audio in here, so hopefully it's a little bit crispier for you guys. So if you're a subscriber to the channel, if you're a real one, hopefully you are able to notice the difference in the audio. Also, we got some Real One t-shirts coming soon. So I just dropped the link in the description of the last live. I'm going to drop it in the description of this live once I upload this to the channel. And yeah, guys, we got Real One tees for you. Okay, so if you're, but don't buy it if you're a weenie or a wussy. Okay, these t-shirts are for real ones. That's why they say Real One on there. Okay, we're not playing games. We don't want no wimps. We don't want weasels. We don't want wussy or wuss bags. In any of that, any of the weird W words. We want winners, right? That's the only W word we like, okay, guys? And I made a huge mistake. We're going to get into it. Very brutal mistake. My brain hurts from this mistake. I watched Armin and Neon streaming. I'm now stupider for it. I'm in physical pain from it. We're going to get into all that, guys. I watched it so you don't have to. It's horrible. It's as horrible as it sounds. And I put myself through that for you guys so I can report back on the state of the influencers and the state of nonsense for you guys. Also, we got a big update about Hulk Hogan's documentary. As some of you may know, I am Hulk Hogan's nephew, in addition to being a professional MMA champion, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and coaching at Extreme Couture. He was also my uncle, R.I.P. And I watched the first 3 parts of his documentary with my dear friend and co-manager, Richie. He helps book me fights for MMA. And he's a big WWE fan, so we watched the first 3 episodes. And we have a big plan. We have an actual time and date to watch episode 4, because I told you guys I was going to update you with a review and a reaction once I watched it. We're watching that Sunday. Right now, it is 11:23 p.m. on Friday, so the day after tomorrow, we're going to watch that. Tomorrow, I am coaching the MMA practice at 11 a.m. at Extreme Couture. So shout out to Extreme Couture. We got a lot of new people here. Not a lot of new people from on the channel. The subscriber count is growing exponentially now. Just the other day, I posted on my Instagram. I said, listen, guys, I just started posting on YouTube. Get in the 111 club. Before we hit 111 subscribers, get in. And some people got in. We've now surpassed 410 subscribers, guys. You know what I'm saying? In a very short period of time. So if you were a betting man and you wanted to bet on where the channel's going, it's going all the way up. So if you're on here now and you're already subscribed and you already got notifications off, because I go live every day, but at different times. So the best way to hop on here and jump in the chat with me, because I want to talk to you. I'm looking to connect. I'm looking to have a conversation. I want to have a dialogue. I don't just want to have a monologue. right? I want to hear what you got to think, what you think about MMA, what you think about the Hulk documentary. I want to hear what you think about pro wrestling and influencers and UFOs and all that. And the best way to do that is to have notifications on. So if you're already in early, before the channel goes to the freaking moon, I want to say thank you. And I want to say you're a real one. And that's why we got the real one tees. Okay, guys. So also, I'm going to be dropping a state of MMA address in a couple days. That's going to be an interesting video because right now I'm like kind of bored of MMA, you know? I feel like there's a big announcement coming soon, and we're going to get into all that on the State of MMA address. I'm going to talk about what's happened in the past, what's currently happening, and what needs to happen to propel MMA into the future. You know, we got a lot to talk about today, guys. All right, so let me hold this shirt up real quick because I rock with Fight Circus. I've pro wrestled at Fight Circus before, twice now, once in Thailand and once in Las Vegas. I was in the main event in Las Vegas when we sold out the Palms 2 nights in a row. Go follow Fight Circus on Instagram. And when you follow them on Instagram, you may see that we're going viral right now over a whole other subject. That's why I was on Jesse on Fire. I don't want to talk about the details of that subject, but when you go follow them, you follow me on Instagram, you'll see a bunch of stuff. It's been like, on my IG alone, it's like probably at or approaching, it's about to cross over 800,000 views just alone in this week. So it's popping off on IG, guys. But here's the thing, we're on YouTube, okay? So my YouTube's not big yet. My Instagram is borderline unmanageable at this point. But here, I can still interact. I respond to every comment. I mean, let me say this within reason. Okay. Some people say the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life, or the most like hateful for no reason, or like just, and those people, like, I'm not, but like if you have like a genuine comment, I'm going to read it and I'm going to respond. Okay. So that's where we're at. Before the channel gets too big for me to do that, I'm still doing that. I respond to every single comment that is left on here. So let's get right into it, guys. I'm going to have a drink of caffeine. I've been going hard with the caffeine, okay? Because I got outdid on the caffeine the other day by one of the dudes on the amateur team. His name's Asa. I was at like 780 milligrams that day, and he was already in the 900s. And I said, this can't stand. So I've expedited my caffeine consumption. I start off the day before energy drinks, right off the jump. Okay, that's how we wake up. Get our feet in the grass, get some sunshine, get some fresh air, energy drinks, caffeinate. You know what I mean? So UFC fighters are turning on Trump and the UFC ahead of the White House card. And what does this mean? Because so I was in Miami for UFC when Adesanya knocked out Alex Pereira. And George Masvidal was on the card. He's the king of Miami. He's beefing with Kobe Covington, all kinds of stuff. They're talking about Florida beef. But let's be real. Even though Kobe can beat up Masvidal, or at least did that time when they fought, not in the fight in Miami, but Masvidal is like a local celebrity. He's the king of Miami, essentially, right? He was on the card. Adesanya was on the card. Alex Pereira was on the card. And the person who got the most cheers, and keep in mind, this is before the election. This is when the news was telling you that nobody liked Trump. When Trump walked out, the place went insane. 100% support. Just crazy cheers. People freaking loved that guy. The UFC, Dana, Trump, all in alignment. Now, the media, the reporters, the journalists, we say that in quotation marks, some of them were not in alignment with this because, you know, they went to college where they got told to repeat woke propaganda, and that's what they did, right? And so they were like, I got good grades on the test because I repeated what I was told to repeat, right? And then they think that they're intelligent because they can regurgitate information that's actually brainwashed. We're not going to get into that. Okay. But so aside from them, the crowd was 100% on board, right? Loud. I'm talking loud. I'm talking shakingly loud, like, right, vibrant. And things have changed. Things have changed, guys. UFC fighters that were supporting the big guy, 45, 47, now they are turning on him. This overseas engagement is unpopular. And that's why I'm not political. Because as you guys know, Clavicular, the Renaissance man himself, the most viral streamer on the planet right now, he says all politics is jester. And what I take that to mean, and the reason why I'm not political at all, is because it seems to me that these dudes will say whatever they got to say to get elected. And maybe this is actually how it is. Like, in order to get elected, you have to say X, Y, and Z. But when you get in there, you actually have to do A, B, and C, right? Which are two totally different ends of the alphabet. And so the politicians that I am observing, and maybe you guys are seeing the same thing, seem to say one thing and then get in there and do the opposite. So it's like, what is politics anyways, guys? And, now the universal support for Trump is changing. And there's dudes like Luke Thomas that are going in on him. Ariel Helwani's going in on him. A lot of people are going in. And that's to be expected with the journalists, but now the fighters are too. I mean, Strickland, a couple weeks ago, posted a picture of him as Trumpzilla setting fire to Iran with mouth fire. You know what I mean? And now, furthermore, in addition to having the UFC at the White House with a dude who is formerly like the most popular president in human history, that is now publicly changing in the polls, they're also limiting Strickland's interactions with Khamzat. And Strickland did say some wild shit. You know what I mean? He said that he's going to blast him if they try and jump him, which, to be fair, what else are you supposed to do? Just let him jump you? Like, I don't know what the correct answer is. I'm just saying that maybe Strickland didn't need to say that publicly, just have that. But you know what? It's better to say it publicly as a deterrent, right? Rather than not say it. There's no deterrent. It starts to happen, and then you got to pop off, right? Like, so this outcome might actually be better, even though it sounds wild to say, right? So Strickland has said this. He said that he likes to engage in intercourse with goats. He has said a lot of things. And now they're going to limit his interaction with Khamzat. And Strickland is calling Khamzat a whore. And he's telling the UFC, hey, get your whore in line and don't limit me. Check your whore. That's what Strickland's saying about Khamzat, the guy he's going to go fight. It's getting crazy. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan has security concerns about the UFC White House. We just had the press dinner where shit popped off again. The security didn't look super tight there. Right now, what's it going to look like at the White House? So there's all this shit going on. Meanwhile, in the background, we have Jake Paul, Ronda Rousey, and MVP lurking in the shadows, eyes glowing, waiting for any crack, any chink in the armor of the UFC so they can attack. Ronda just came out in the press again and said that they are going directly at the UFC and they are taking over. Now, to a lot of people, Ronda saying that sounds crazy because she's going to fight once and dip. A lot of these people are going to fight in MVP and dip. They're not going to build the same roster that the UFC has. And people would go, well, then they're not going to be able to compete. No, that's why they will be able to compete, which is the fucking crazy part. Nobody wants to see the number 29 guy in the world fight the number 28 guy in the world, and they're both from Uzbekistan, and we can't pronounce their names, and they don't really talk on the mic, and there's no reason to watch because they're not good enough to get in the top 5, and they're never going to be stars, right? And like, why is that the product for half of the cards, right? And it's to filter out everybody to get the best fighter in the world. So it's part of how an organization that wants to have the best fighters in the world compete for world titles and be recognized as the best in the world. That's how we got to get there as the UFC, right? Like that's the way to do it. But to be the most entertaining, to be the most watched, to be the most popular, to be the most compelling, all you need is some popularity, a storyline, and a willingness to fight, right? And if they have banger ass fights, which the public will define, not the technical experts who are like, oh, well, he didn't put his foot on the outside when he switched to southpaw, right? Like the hardcores, the MMA nerds will have issues with what the general public would absolutely love to watch, which is crazy ass exciting fights that aren't quite as technical. Because sometimes when it's ultra technical, it looks like a stalemate. The untrained eye sees it as boring, and then the technical nerds are like, oh my gosh, it's a chess match. And people at home are tuning out. But if you get Ronda Rousey, a household name, to fight Gina Carano, a household name, and they're two pissed off women and they're coming in there and it's a cat fight, bro, on Netflix, dude, they're gonna have the biggest, most watched MMA event in history. And so the question becomes, when Ronda says that they are taking over and they're taking the UFC spot, they're coming for the UFC, do you think she means that they're coming to have a roster of 700 of the best top 50 fighters in the world, like in each division? Or are they coming for the biggest names, the biggest fights, the most revenue, the most eyeballs, the most sponsorships, the biggest, brightest, craziest, most massive, most global event possible? And I believe that's what she means. So, right now, the UFC is headed towards the UFC White House event, and Netflix is headed towards the most popular fight in human history. That's crazy. So, anyways, guys, I'm going to check the chat real quick. I see Arpon the Dawn in the chat. Arpon just got here. He says, the real ones are here. I like the new profile pic. Yeah, man. You know, we had to upgrade the channel a little bit, right? Because the old picture that I had up there was like based on a reel that, so I was training with a dude, and his name is Daniel. And Daniel's awesome, right? And he does video. Daniel's from Russia. And so when he dropped the text on the video, I didn't like proofread it. I just put it up because I move fast. You guys see, I got an iPhone, a belt, some caffeine, and I'm going live every day, right? So I'll act first and adjust later. Okay. I believe that's how success happens. You know, when you got your friend and he says he's gonna start learning Brazilian jiu-jitsu or kickboxing or whatever you like to do, and he's like, oh man, I gotta get in shape before I come to the gym and train with you. And you're like, no, bro, you get in shape by coming to the gym with me. You don't wait to come to the gym with me by getting in shape first. Like, you don't postpone it, right? So it's the same thing with this. Boom, just put the iPhone up, plug it in, start going live, make adjustments as we go, right? And so that's kind of what I'm doing with the channel in terms of the profile picture and everything. And I had a picture up that was from a video that I've now privated because I want to keep the audio from it, but I want to remix it with like fresh, new, high quality content because it had me like running through the mountains and stuff. And one of my friends was like, bro, what do the mountains have to do with fighting? And I was like, dog, that you just made so much sense while the video was like 4K and epic and it's got drone footage. It was fucking awesome. It like had nothing to do with fighting for the first 60 seconds of the video. And the on-screen text was misspelled because my Russian homie did me a favor and he did it himself. And I was like so excited to get it back and put it up. You know what I mean? So anyways, that's where that picture came from. This new picture is me winning a belt, which is more representative of how I view myself currently, you know? And we got a big arena in the background for the channel. So that's the new upgrade to the channel itself. I've also put up some sound repellent in the room so it's not as echoey, right? Next thing you know, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna get the whole thing done. I'm gonna get the software right. We're gonna get the mic. We're gonna get actual video, like all that. That's all coming. Let me check the chat. Congrats on the 400 subscribers. We going big. Fire emoji, fire emoji, fire emoji. Let's freaking go. You know what I mean? So we're out here. We got the real one shirts coming. We got the subscriber count going up. Speaking of the subscriber count, a lot of people are here from the Jesse on Fire video I did. And shout out to Jesse on Fire. Jesse on Fire was a huge MMA YouTuber. And then one day he reported on the dude who runs the country, and somebody had a thing and they tried to get him. And it was a crazy moment in history because his ear was bleeding and everything. And Jesse went live, and he was at like 100,000 subscribers for his MMA channel. And then like within a week, he went to 200,000 subscribers by reporting on politics. So now he's a full-time like political dude. And we just happen to have similar friends and acquaintances in the content creator space. And for whatever reason, when I went viral for the incident that happened at the MMA fight where I punked the dude or whatever, and the dude's a creeper, Jesse hates that dude. So I didn't know who the dude was. I was just going off my friend, like saying he didn't like the guy, right? And I was like, well, what you told me about the guy is really fucked up. So let me call him out. Anyways, Jesse on Fire's like, bro, I saw that video. I didn't realize that was you. Because I had sent him a video that was collaborated with me on Instagram, and he saw the other name on the video. It was Baller Busters, right? So he thought I was just sending him some random Baller Busters video. And then when he watched it, he was like, bro, you fucking punked that guy, right? Or whatever. He's like, and then we started talking. It turns out he absolutely hates the dude. So, anyways, he put up a video of him just ripping into that dude, right? And then we did an exclusive interview where I told him some of the clips that Baller Busters and John Bravo had posted and JD. And I went through it one by one with him. So if you haven't seen that video, hit Jesse on Fire's page too. Because if you're into that sort of thing, he rips into that guy. You know what I mean? And I'm over here in my own lane. Good vibes only. Beautiful girlfriend. Genius. You know what I mean? She not only did she win like a world beauty pageant in China, she also got a 4.0 at Berkeley. You know what I mean? And so I'm over here just like in the grass, meditating, being grateful for my girlfriend, being grateful for my pool. You know what I mean? Like loving my life, sitting in the grass, right? And there's like this whole world of like expose content going on. So if you're into that, make sure you hit Jesse on Fire's page, because I know a lot of you guys actually came here from that. So maybe there's some crossover audience of people who rock with me that would resonate with that. So if that's you, Jesse on Fire is a real one. I believe he's a purple belt under Shanji Ribeiro as well. So you know what I mean? You could probably chug them out. You know what I mean? So let's go, guys. Also, did I tell you guys the update on the Hulk documentary already? I think I did briefly. Sunday, I'm gonna go watch episode 4, even though I don't really want to watch episode 4. Right? I just want to rewatch the first 3 again. I like to stay in that vibe, the positivity. If you guys have not seen the first 3 episodes of my uncle's documentary on Netflix, it's called Real American. Watch it. It's so freaking cool. And I'm not just saying that because it's my uncle. I'll watch it as a family member, and I'll also watch it as a fan of Hulk Hogan. I got people coming up to me like in tears type shit. Like, bro, I watched your uncle's documentary. It took me down memory lane, bro. So it's interesting too. And the other day I was at the gym, and 2 different people were talking to me at the same time. And one of them was saying that they had started watching the documentary. And then another person heard them talking about the Hulk Hogan documentary, but didn't know I was Hulk's nephew. So then they start putting, because this is my buddy, man, and he's from Canada, right? So he's probably a Bret Hart fan. And Bret Hart is not a fan of my uncle. They had beef, guys. And Bret always thought that Bret should be the number 1 guy, but Bret couldn't sell the tickets and sell out the arenas the way that Hulk could. So the numbers don't lie, right? He just wasn't the number one guy, as good as he was, and I believe all that. I wanted my character in Fight Circus to have the Bret the Hitman Hart glasses, and my character's name was Dong Master 3000 back when I was pro wrestling for Fight Circus, and I wanted it to say Dong on the glasses. You know what I mean? And I was like, we could sell those as merch, right? Like, because I was inspired by Bret the Hitman Hart. And as much as I'm a fan of Bret the Hitman Hart, there's a difference between me thinking he's awesome and millions and millions and millions of people tuning in, buying pay-per-views, showing up to arenas, selling out every single night. And for whatever reason, call it charisma, call it the X factor, call it the intuitive nature, call it timing, my uncle was able to do that for like 3 decades in a row, right? Which is it's an incredible feat. And so this person starts talking about the documentary in front of my buddy who's from Canada. And then he starts blasting the documentary. You know what I mean? Like, oh, bro, it's full of lies or what. And then then it comes out that that's my uncle. And then he's like, oh, but I didn't mean anything by it. I'm like, no, bro, a lot of people have different feelings. I'm very used to people who, everybody on the planet knows who Hulk Hogan is. And everybody's got a different experience with him. Maybe it's like they've just heard about him casually. Maybe they heard that was a pro wrestler in the past. Maybe they grew up watching him. Maybe they grew up watching Bret Hart and they always wanted Bret Hart to be the guy because they're from Canada and Bret's from Canada. And my uncle's the American asshole who's just number one. You know what I mean? So everybody's got a different viewpoint, but I thought it was interesting because he had a hot take and then he found out that that's my uncle. You know what I mean? He was super sweet. He was super apologetic. And, I said RIP, and, shook my hand and bowed and everything, which you know what I mean? That's love right there. Right. So, I'm going to go watch episode 4 with Richie, even though I don't want to watch episode 4 because I heard episode 4 is sad and I heard it's like more of the drama and the who slept with who and all that. You know what I mean? But I said I was going to watch it. I said I was going to review it. I said I was going to react to it. So expect that probably Sunday night or Monday night. That's why you got to have the notifications on because you got to hit the bell and then set it to all notifications. Because I might just go live at 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 11 p.m., 10 p.m., 9 p.m., 8 p.m. Maybe I'll go live at noon one of these days. No telling what I might do. I might go live twice in a day. And, guys, listen, I'm excellent at strangling people. I'm excellent at making dudes shoot on me in MMA fights so I can strangle them. I have a software deficiency. Okay, so I got the software set up today. I thought I was tight. I was like, man, I got picture in picture. I can put my browser up here. We can live react to it. Like, how like every streamer, every live person on the internet does, right? Simple shit. Like play a video and we react to it together on a live. Like nothing crazy. So I thought I had it all figured out. So I do this video. Boom, boom, boom. Stop recording. Go check my recording. Everything is black. It didn't record the audio or the video. And this is the same problem that I had a week ago when I attempted to do it. And then I had fixed the problem. And then it was recording the video from my iPhone. And then when I did the screen and screen, it wouldn't record the audio. So I had to download a codec and all this, like you need an audio driver for your blah, 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 right? So I did all that. And now it's back to square one, right? So anyways, guys, maybe I'll just freaking bring an IT person over here and set it all up for me. You know what I mean? I'm a regular guy, guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man of the people. I'm just like, how hard could it be? I'll just crank it out myself. Wrong. Maybe I'm using OBS. Maybe I got the wrong software. Maybe I need a different software that's made for people who are not software fucking geniuses. Even though I don't actually think OBS is that difficult, it seems fairly straightforward. It's probably user error. So anyways, if you want to learn how to strangle people, you want to learn how to win MMA fights, I'm your guy. You want to learn how to do software, I am not the dude for that. But Anyways, we move on, guys. All right, so speaking of the Jesse on Fire collab, I thought it was very, very kind words that Jesse said. Jesse said that I'm the most talented person he's seen on video that is not a fucking huge mega star on YouTube yet. So I thought that was very nice because he got 600,000 subscribers. He's done reality TV. He knows what he's looking at. And so I agree. You know, I took that compliment. That made me very happy. So shout out to Jesse on Fire for the kind words, guys. Go follow Jesse on Fire. All right. And then, yeah, man, I got some other stuff I want to talk about. We'll do that in the next live. All right. Let me check the chat. All right, cool, guys. Yo, so, hey, tomorrow I'm going to go live earlier. I'm going to commit to it. I'm not sure on what time, but I'm committed to going live earlier tomorrow. So make sure you bang the bell. Make sure you set to all notifications. Go unfollow everybody else on YouTube. Go turn off all your notifications for every other YouTuber. Fuck it, all your social media. The only person you need to have notifications on for is me, because I'm going at random times. And when the chat pops off, I have way more fun. I know the chat has more fun. We get interactive, and then the fucking live takes on a vibe of its own. And we go to places like the other day. We went on 10 minutes about Jake Paul's glizzy addiction, right? Because he has they were calling him the glizzy gladiator because he has a hot dog franchise where he enjoys glizzies and wieners in his mouth, right? And that wouldn't have happened if the chat wasn't popping off properly. So, anyways, make sure you have notifications on. Make sure you're subscribed. Unsubscribe from everybody else because we don't even need to. I understand you don't want a million notifications going off, right? All I'm saying is just have one, right? If you're a real one, have this channel. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, we got the real one shirts popping. I'm going to put a link to the description as soon as I post this video. And so, you know, if you want the fucking flyest gear on the internet, make sure you go see that. And if you want to see the viral shit that I prefer not to talk about, even though it's going viral, just so you know what I'm talking about, you can peep my Instagram, King David MMA. Anyways, guys, I love you. Have an absolutely great night. It is about midnight here. So I'm sweating. I'm going to hop off the live. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow, and I'll see you earlier on the live in the morning or afternoon. Peace.